Alright, welcome to the Schofield Garage for He Hate Me updates. It's a small one, but we got some work done with the rocker bar. Again, it's tied to the down bar, it's tied to the main hoop. The passenger side, if you look at a 25.5 SFI spec, can be 1.25 inch tube, so that's what that is, just for weight, but that does reinforce that. The driver's side is 1.75 inch. I also have 1.5 inch, but some of this is some of the original 1.75 inch. It came with my S&W 10-point cage. They didn't have 1.5 inch available when I ordered it. They did it in 1.75 inch, same price. But I have since bought some 1.5 inch to save a little bit of weight and redo some of the pieces or add more bars. So I'm using what I got. Put a little stub in behind the main hoop, back to the main cross member. Now try to figure out where the rear down bars are going to go, how they're going to go in. What I think I'm going to do, unfortunately, the frame rail is in line with the centerpiece between those two cutouts in a package tray. So what I think I'm going to do is run it right into the package tray, slot that out, slide the tube up there, and then wherever it ends up down on the frame rail. Since I have a tubing bender, I could bend it wherever I want. I don't know if I'll do that. I'm going to take the seat. I guess that's the upper seat mount. I'm going to cut that off, get that out of my way, and then slot that, clear the tube going down, figure out where it lands, see what that looks like, and go from there. So that's a simple update. May the 7th, Saturday, about 4 p.m. Good morning. It's Sunday. It's hot and sticky here in Memphis. It's probably going to be 90 today. It's only the early middle part of May, so I'm already saying, when's October get here? But here we are at the Schofield Motorsports Garage with the He Hate Me 62 Falcon. If you're new to the channel, here he is. He hates me. Sometimes I hate him back. Sometimes I hate him back a lot. Got the cage. The upper parts of the cage are fully welded. The rear down bars aren't fully welded. They were the last thing. Had to get the rest of the cage up. Have rocker bars in, 1.25 inch on the passenger side, because that's all SF 25.5 requires. 1.75 inch on the driver's side, because I have a bunch of 1.75 inch left from the S&W cage kit that I'm not using, because I've customized some of the bars and used 1.5 inch. When I ordered the cage, it was 1.5 inch. They said it was going to take 18 to 20 weeks to get more 1.5 inch, but they could do 1.75 inch. Not super concerned about the weight, or else I'd be doing chrome moly anyway, because this is all mild steel. So the dash bars, or I'm sorry, the A-pillar bars, the windshield bars, I custom bent. I didn't like the way the S&W bars came through the dash, so I custom bent these. You see right there where I had it clamped in the bender. If I had it to do over again, I could probably do these even a little better now with a little more experience with the bender. Had to cut some huge holes in the dash to get everything lined up. I cut the dash bar. Well, you can see it's right up against the speaker opening. Cut and bent it to put the dash bar up as high as possible, so no interference to the glove box opening, which is really cool. Having serious considerations right now about cutting the front end off, not the frame rails, but the aprons, and actually then dissecting the firewall and moving it back to put the engine further back. But I'm having problems. Number one problem I have is how much the work that would be to cut the firewall. Basically, I have to drill out all the spot welds to do it. It's no problem, because I've drilled out all these spot welds to get the cowl off. But then drill out all the spot welds on the fender apron, get that off. I'd probably just cut it down there at the frame rails. Not too worried about that. I'd need to keep, I really would like to keep these fender aprons, at least this top flange, because they have the VIN number stamped on them. Both of them do, which is nice. Since I do want to license and title this car so I can drive it to drag and drive events, Drag Week, Rocky Mountain Race Week, etc. But the top of the cowl would have to stay so that the lower cowl and upper cowl have something to connect to. So I'll say, well, could basically cut off, leave this flange intact up at the top, down maybe an inch or two, come across, slice it out, leave it there. Then I have to make a box basically. I know a lot of the drag and drive events use Drag Week rules. Also know the NHRA rules have a lot about using the stock firewalls. For stock firewalls intact, you get a lot more leeway. I don't know what they consider if you've moved the stock firewall. Of course, the other thing I've thought is to save how tight it's going to be under the hood with the brake master cylinder. Won't be power brakes. I don't really think that's an issue since I'm using a Fox body manual master cylinder. I've had the engine in it on the AJEK member. It clears over there you see the water pump and blower motor hump. So I have thought about cutting that out, basically flipping it over and welding it back in so it'd be recessed instead of bumped out. Or just cut it out and put a flat panel in there, because it is out about 1.5 inches, 2 inches from the rest of the firewall. But that also corresponds over there. The fender apron is out, so I'd have to make some kind of extension. And this project is already like on a slow track to nowhere. Earlier this year when they announced Drag Week would start in Memphis, which of course now the Memphis International Raceway is closed for good. So haven't seen what they're going to do about that, but I already knew I couldn't get this ready in time to do that. But I do want to go on Drag Week. So I would like to finish maybe by next year, by 2023. So today I'm going to work on the leaf spring mounts. As you can see here, I had these custom, I designed these, had them cut out. I'm still not 100% positive either set of holes. Puts the axle center line where I need it. I'm not touching this forward lip on the quarter that's real tight on the Falcon. I really like the look. I know people section them moving forward. Some people just put a round radius on it. Of course, I am super critical of late model GM pickups for having square wheel wells with round tires, but I think this is part of what makes a 60 to 63 Falcon, are these rear wheel wells. So I'm going to move the axle center line back. I took a guess when I did this bracket, when I had it designed. Pretty sure that the backs of the holes that the bolts are in are going to work. If they don't, it has to go farther back. I've got a couple of options. One option I'm thinking of is if it's like a 1/4 inch or less, or maybe even a 1/2 inch, is get a piece of 1/2 inch or 3/8 or 1/4 inch plate and weld that to the cross member and space the brackets back that far. What I'm going to do today is put the leaf springs in, kind of let them hang loosely where they're going to hang. Take a plumb bob, mark the axle pin center line, then basically transfer that mark out to the quarters, center the wheels off of that, and then see where that ends up. So that's the game plan. So I'm already sweating. This is ridiculous. It's only 10 o'clock. I think the humidity is about 65, 70%. It's already in the 80s. And I'm in a 2-car garage. A bunch of junk everywhere. Look at all this junk. Of course, as I tell my wife, as I build the car, more and more of this junk should come off the floor into the car, which keeps me in good standing, at least for now. But so I don't complain when she buys 600 candles or more towels or stuff, because I got a lot of stuff. There's my tub standing up over there. Pretty soon I'll be working on those. A 480E case, although I think at first I've got a Turbo 400. It's got some pretty good parts in it, so it's been sitting around for about 20 years. I'm going to put a trans brake in it and just run it. Maybe for drag week, see if I can't find a used gear vendors. Or maybe break down, spend some moolah and build a 4L80 so I have overdrive and lockup converter. But it's not going to be a street car. But then again, with Memphis International Raceway closing, there's only a couple 8th mile tracks really close here, so who knows? Some days I wake up and like, why did I do this? I picked the exact wrong time to do this. Should have done this 20 years ago. But that's today's update in a nutshell. I will actually, I think I'll take the windshield, put it back in the attic. I had to test it against the roll bar there, make sure it clears. It clears on the passenger side. The driver's side's really tight. I monkeyed with the down bars with some ratchet straps, pulled them together. I think it'll clear. Let's put a gasket on it. All right, that's that. Now you get to watch me sweat. Okay, we'll look at the center line of the axle. That's what I just did. Got stuck in the way. But that's pretty much what the tire is. It's going to be a bit higher. Of course, it's lower than this, but that's where it's going to be. Yeehaw. Can I get a yeehaw? Yeehaw. Okay, so one thing I've been worried about for a while was when I built these bars and the bar front roll cage is the front was so super flexy, wasn't quite sure I had it in the right place. Didn't think of that at the time I was doing it, but thought of it later. So just now I got the upper cowl down. Put it on the upper cowl, seems to line up pretty good. I think that's fine. So sometimes helps me with the weight off the front end on the jack. The front end still flexes maybe 1/4 of an inch, 3/8 of an inch. So this is where it needs to be. It's very close. I'm not going to monkey with it. I will probably have to make a filler strip in my lower cowl panel that I made. I guess when I fit it, I had the front end supported. I had my jack stand from the front, nothing under the rockers, and at the back to the car, it sagged in the middle, or it sagged at the firewall. Before I put these bars in, the firewall flexed quite a bit, so that it didn't dawn on me when I put them in that I needed to get the front end located up and down correctly. What I did was I leveled the inner frame rails, and then leveled the front frame rails, got them both sitting level, and I guess that's close enough. That must be how Ford did it, so that's how I'm doing it. It's close enough. I'll have to redo my fill-in panel. I'll have to make a strip along the top, about a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, and I'm probably not going to butt weld all that. I'm probably just going to let it overlap just so it'll be easier and I can get on with my life. And so that's good. I've measured the distance between the wheels from my axle. The distance between the wheels right now is 48 3/4, so I gotta go look and see what kind of brakes I want to put on it, how much room I need to leave for the disc rotors, and so right now the tires are pushed up. I don't know if we can see this. The tires are pushed up against the inner wheel lip, so that gives me a little bit of room on each side. If you can see that in there. I don't know if you can see. We can see that down there. I'll have to look when I edit the video, but down in there, I'm gonna roll that back, so that'll give me some more clearance, and that should be good. So I'm gonna go figure out some lunch and what I need to do for the axle width, and get that ordered. I don't know the seller's name on eBay, but there is a seller on eBay I've seen will sell any width 9-inch housing with axles for $775, and I think that's cheaper than I can do it myself buying axles. So I'll just order that, figure out what width I need.